So this is my sorry. So today I am going to show you how can you add an additional domain controller. For that I wanted to have a new server built. You see here I have built a new server which is server 2016 and I have named it as ADC01. So to add an additional domain we should have a domain first. So you know that DC01 has got a domain and that domain is microsoft.com. Let me log in here. Okay, so then in this ADC01 I need to do some basic prereqs, correct now? So it is a just fresh build server. Let me set the password here. I'm going to set the password, it's a complex one. Password @ 123 can set. But in the real time don't set this password. This is a generic password, but in the real time if you are working in an organization, don't ever set this password because it's a very easy crackable password. Okay, so now ADC01 is now password is set. I'm now trying to log in as an administrator because it is still in the work group. I have logged in now. Yeah, now if I go to command prompt, if I see the host name, see it has got some different weird name which you cannot remember, correct? And if I see the IP address, it is, see I have the IP address but that is not given by me, it is a dynamic one. See, if you look at it is DHCP enabled, correct now? See, DHCP enabled is yes, and the IP address is this one. So normally the server should have the static IP. So what I have to do, I will add the IP address, okay, manually. ncpa.cpl, I'll open network interface card, I'll go to the Ethernet card, go to properties, TCP IP version 4, click on the following IP address and then 192.168.190.35, say for example, okay, and gateway say 192.168.190.1, but the DNS address should be the address of the DC because in this DC we have added DNS server as well. So that IP address is 192.168.190.30. okay, this is my DNS server address, and this is also going to act as a DNS server because this is going to be an additional domain controller. So when you say domain controller, that server will have both Active Directory as well as DNS. Then in the alternate DNS you can put the same server IP address 192.168.190.35, this server IP address, because this is going to be an additional domain controller and that will also have the DNS role installed. So it is not necessarily you should have one or two DNS address, you can have n number of DNS address. If you go on advanced here, you can see, go to DNS here and you can add n number of DNS. You can add 10, 20, 30, 40 DNS servers can be addressed, and you can move which is preferred, which is alternative. See, like this button, if you put down it will go down. See, if you want to make it up, it will go up. Like this you can make the changes. So now I have added the IP address, I am good. So now quickly rename the computer to ADC01. okay, and now if you look at clear screen, if I do and rerun the command ipconfig all, you see here now it is not a DHCP enabled one, and the IP address you see 35 is the preferred IP address. So we are good here. So now let me open sysdm.cpl and it will tell me this machine still is in the work group because it is not a domain controller yet. It is still a work group server. Okay, if I click on change and I can rename it ADC-01. Okay, I don't want to add it to the domain because when I add as an additional domain controller, it automatically gets added to the domain. Okay, I don't have to do manually. So if I click on OK, it will ask me the password, username and password. Sorry, the renaming will not ask, it will just restart. Okay, restart now. The machine will get restarted. Once the machine is up, the name will be changed, and then we will install the VMware tools and just check the time zone, and we can just start with the Active Directory role installation. Yeah, my machine is now back up, so let me log in again. PASSW audio @123. I can quickly verify the name now. Type a command called host name in the command prompt. See, it is ADC-01. If you look at the time, it is 1914, means 7 o'clock 45 AM. It is IST timing, and if you see, this is also same, so the time zone is correct. Okay, then, but it is not full screen yet because the VMware tool is not installed. VMware tools can be installed just by going to your tools and install the VMware tools, or you can even right click on this ADC-01 tab and install VMware tools. We can select. As soon as you select that, a CD will get inserted to this server and it autoplay happens. So now you can even wait for that autoplay to come, or you can just go to my computer and there you see the CD option. Double click on it, VMware tool CD, and just follow the wizard. So I'll install complete installation. Next, install. So this will take a while, a minute, and then the machine gets restarted. But as soon as the installation happens, the screen will become full and all the drivers, plugins, add-ons will be installed in the server. Then we will be ready for promoting this machine to a domain controller after the computer get restarted and comes up. Yeah, see, it has become full screen and it is now asking me to finish it. Yes, now the machine gets restarted automatically. So these are all the prerequisites we need to do in order to have an additional, any domain controller or any server for that matter. Okay, so maintaining the hygiene is very very important. If you want to become a successful IT professional, you have to maintain hygiene in each and every stage. Okay, so that gives you confidence and that gives you name fame. So I'm just logging into the server now. Password, and I'm entering. Yeah, so now we are good. Now we already know, like, to install, to promote a domain controller, what we have to install, which role we have to install.
Active Directory Domain Skills, ADDS.
Yep. So we need to install Active Directory Domain Services or ADDS role. to promote a domain controller, either it is a new domain controller, additional domain controller, or child domain controller, RODC, whatever it is. Okay. So as soon as you log into this any server, you will see this server manager gets opened. So then you have to go to the tools option here, and you see there is nothing called Active Directory. That means this machine is nowhere have the Active Directory role installed. Now I want to quickly install the Active Directory role here. So I'll go to add roles and features. I will click on next. Yes, I want to install this role based or feature based installation. Yes, this is my ADC 01 and the IP address and the data center edition is correct. Now I have to click on Active Directory domain services, add feature, add next, and that's everything is next, and we can install it. So the installation will take a minute. We need to wait for that to happen. So as soon as the installation is done, we will see a notification bar here. Here a notification symbol already just came, see, and you have to go there and try to promote the server to become a domain controller, or even you can get an option here once the installation wizard is completed. Below that you see an option to promote this server to a domain controller option. So any questions so far? Okay, silence is no. Good. Another 10-20 seconds. Yeah, see now the configuration required installation succeeded, it is showing on the ADC 01, and I told you, see, there is a notification symbol here, or you can go there and promote a domain controller, or you can even see here promote the server to a domain controller option here. Just click on it, and here you see the wizard. Okay, you see the wizard of promoting the server. Sorry, I just closed that. I'll go here, notification, and select this promote the server to a domain controller option. Yeah, let me make it full screen. Yeah, and see here it is giving the same three options now. First one is add a domain controller to an existing domain. Second one is add a new domain to an existing forest, and the third one is add a new forest. Now tell me which is the first option, which is the option that I have to select, which will be applicable.
First one.
Yeah, we need to select the first one because we already have a domain called Microsoft.com, and I am going to add a new domain controller to an existing domain. To an existing domain called Microsoft.com, I am going to add an additional domain controller called ADC01. Okay, so I'll select the first option, and here I'll choose Microsoft.com. Which domain you have to mention? Okay, Microsoft.com, and if you click on select, it will ask you the username and password. Mention administrator. This is the username of the domain called Microsoft.com. Okay. can put Microsoft/administrator. You can put the password @ and apply OK, and you see this Microsoft.com will come here. Okay, 1 second, change administrator password @ 123. It took actually. So now you see I'm just select, let me put select. See, Microsoft.com is populated here. I will select this Microsoft.com and I'm good now. So if I click on next, then you must supply user account name. Okay, let me put here Microsoft/administrator PASSWORD @ 123. So Microsoft, it's correct. Now it should select here. Yes, it is selecting now. Let me click on next. See, it is now taking, because you need to prove, because if you simply put administrator, it will take the local account, but there is no local account. You have to tell which domain user you are entering. That is the reason you have to put Microsoft, then your administrator. Then it will understand, okay, I am from the Microsoft administrator group. Okay, and you see here the password, it is asking DSRM. I told you this is to restore some deleted restore operations mode. So put the same whatever password you want, but this can be set later. If you forget also, you can reset it later. It is very easy to reset. Okay, click on next. And here is delegation. I don't need to do delegation. I want this machine to act as a DNS server. And see, it is asking to select replication. So I told you, right, the replication will happen automatically. If you create a user in DC01, that will go and sit in the ADC01. ADC01, if you create something, that will come and sit in the DC01. Irrespective of the number of domain controllers you have, each and every domain controller creates a topology among them. Okay, that is called as replication topology. There is a protocol KCC, knowledge consistency checker. So what that will do, it will enable at least each and every domain controller will have minimum 2 connections to get the replication done. It is not a single point of failure. Say for example, there are 3 friends A, B, C. So friend, to talk to friend 1, I'll write and tell you. Okay, so if A want to talk, either he can talk directly or he can talk via B. So if you want to talk to a person called C, either you can directly talk to C or you can talk to B, and B will help you to talk to C, like that. So 2 ways minimum will be there. I'll show you that. Okay, I will write and show you that. Okay, so now I am telling you can even select from which domain controller you want to see. DC01 is already there. In my case, I am having only one domain controller. Say for example, in your real time, when you have 20, 30, 40 domain controller, that time you can specify. So if you select any domain controller, that will pick up one domain controller automatically. But in the same domain, if you are doing the installation, then you can select the same location domain controller. Say for example, you have one domain controller in Hyderabad, one is in Delhi, one is in Pune, one is in Bangalore, one is in Mangalore. So you are adding an additional domain controller in Bangalore location. If that time if you select any domain controller, it will pick up any one, either Mangalore, Pune, Delhi. So to make the delay, the replication delay, what you can do, reduce the delay, what you can select the same Bangalore location domain controller. That time the replication happens quickly and the installation completed fasterly. Okay, so that is the reason when you have a single one, you can select automatically select that one. When you have any domain controller, you can select whatever you wanted. Okay, so click on next, and now it will show you the database path and the sysvol folder path. Nothing to do with that, and click on next. And now the prerequisites validation is happening. Once the prereqs validation and the checklist is completed, then you get a green go, then click on install, then your domain controller will be starting as a domain controller. See, all the prerequisites are successfully checked, nothing to this one. Now, before I promote the domain controller, I want to show you how many domain controller it is already got. I'll go to tools, I'll go to active user computers in the DC01, and then I'll go to the domain controllers view here. See, this is the domain controller. See, in the domain controller you can see you have a domain controller, single domain controller is DC01, and it's a GC means is a global catalog, and it is in the default first site. Okay. Now if I go to ADC01 and click on install, automatically this machine gets promoted as a domain controller, and we will call that domain controller as additional domain controller. Why? Because we already had one, the root domain controller. I am adding another one, that is an additional one. That is the reason it's an ADC. See, now the installation started DNS, and the promotion is also started. See, policy checking is happening. Domain, see, changing the domain membership means it was in the work group. Now your AD installation will move this to the domain called Microsoft.com, and replicating all the information. See, replicating the critical domain information, computer name and Microsoft.com. See, settings, the securing machines, LLM, LKM, all those things. Almost done now. See, the machine is now getting restarted. This automatically gets restarted, you don't need to do anything. See, it automatically got restarted. So now I'll quickly go to the DC01 and I'll show you by refreshing this domain controller OU, and you see another domain controller or a computer account which is ADC-01 got added to the default first site, because we are adding to the Bangalore location only. That is the reason you are adding it to the default first site. But each and every locations will have a different sites. You can see here, if you go to tools, and here if you go to sites and services, here Active Directory sites and services, you can create the sites. Each and every location will have a site. Site means what? It's a one physical location, na? So like if you have Hyderabad, you can create Hyderabad. If you have Pune, you can create Pune. See, new site, and you have to mention mine is Hyderabad. Okay, and the connection with what? The replication. Bangalore and Hyderabad should have the connection. Site links. Okay, enable, added. See, a new site got added here. Next time when you are creating the domain controller, you can link it to the Hyderabad location. Okay, you can go to properties and see multiple options are there. Which location? What is the object? Okay, you can give the which location description and all, and you can even go to subnets here. You can create a new subnet, and you can add, say for example, Bangalore is 192, right? Bangalore is 192.168, but Hyderabad can be 172.16.0.0/16. Okay, you can put Hyderabad. Done. See, this is how the subnets can be created. So this is not for you, this is for the level 3, level 4 peoples, but you should know where is the Active Directory sites and subnets will be created. Okay, so subnets is nothing but the internet subnet, the IP address subnet. So since I'm having only one subnet, I'm not creating anything here. Okay, let this be like this. So I'll go to ADC01 now. ADC01 is up. Let me log in now. Send control alt delete. PASSWOD@123. Now see, it is not work group, it is Microsoft/administrator. And now if you go to the Active Directory console, you will see all the information. Whatever you have created in the DC01, that is there in the ADC01 as well, because it is the replica of the DC01. If you delete something here, it will go from there. It will delete something there, that will also go from here. Okay, it is the replica. Okay, so now if I go to tools, let me go to the tools and open the Active Directory users and computers, and you see the same folder structure here in the new domain controller as well. See, Microsoft.com, and if you look at India is there, see India, under that Bangalore, under that IT, under that cloud, you have these many users. So 2 or 3 users, Arun, Sanju, Vishwa, and 2 groups. If you same go to here, if you go same go to the Active Directory in the DC01, same thing. See, go to India, go to Bangalore, go to IT, go to cloud. You see Arun and 2 groups, Sanju, Vishwa. See here, Arun, 2 groups, Sanju, Vishwa, the replica. Okay. Similarly, I have just created the sites, right? Go to tools and see Active Directory sites and services here, and you will see that as well. Now, say for example, I have added this both in the Bangalore location only, the default first. See, default first site, Hyderabad, and see the subnets. I have created one subnet. This is subnet. Okay, now say for example, in Bangalore location there are 500 employees are working. Morning people are coming to office and they will try to log in. What happens? It will equally get distributed the load among both the domain controller. So first 10 users logs in, 5 may go to DC01, 5 may go to ADC01. End of the day there are 500 users, 250 will go to DC01 and 250 will go to ADC01. So basically it distributes the load. Okay, and I can even show you how this Active Directory replication will happen. See here, I'll create a new user in the developer. Okay, let me put one name Arvind. Okay, Arvind I am creating in the developer view. Okay, password @123 PSS PASSWORD@123. I don't want Arvind to change the password. Yesterday Mallikarjun was asking, no sir, it didn't ask us the password. They said, see, because I've unchecked that one, this option. So if you uncheck this option, it won't ask you to reset the password. So next and finish. See, now I have created Arvind, a new user called Arvind in the ADC01. Okay, so if you give some time, Arvind will populate here in the dev view. Here Arvind will populate. So to check that replication, you can go to command prompt, and there is some command called so there are some commands related to the Active Directory replication. Okay, so you need to run those commands. Let me validate. Rep admin /replsom. See here, I am just running a command called replication admin /replication slum. Means summary. Replication summary means how many objects are there in DC01, how many objects are, what are all the source and destination. See, DC01 to ADC01. Okay, largest delta sync happened 6 minutes before, means we have promoted a domain controller, na. So total 5 objects got created and total 5 object got moved to ADC, exchange happened, and there is no error. Okay, there are even more commands are there. One second, let me. So repadmin, if you simply type repadmin, if you don't know the commands, if you simply type repadmin, it will give you the switches. What all see? You can see, show repl is the display the replication status when specified domain controller. Okay, so if I put repadmin slash repl show repl, see, and it is now showing the default first stage name is DC01, and the DSA option is this is global catalog. Okay, and some object, okay, it is there, and that will move to the invocation ID. Some object is there, that to invoke that some ID got created by the Active Directory. See, you don't need to know all these things because this is all level 3 and level 4 work, but you should know how to use the application, how to check the application, all those things. Okay, so the main command for replication is repadmin. Under that, lot of switches are there. Or if you want to sync quickly, there is also some commands. So let me see if Arvind is populated here in the. So let me close and open this one. So maximum 5 minutes within the sites. Between the sites is 15 minutes replication summary. Replication will happen. Okay, so it is yet to come. So what I will do, let me force that replication. Okay, CLS repadmin / sync all. See, following server could not be reached, topology incomplete. Okay, sync all reported the following error. Okay, maybe some topology is not yet built. Okay, so what I can do, /cases, if I invoke, it says consistency check on localhost successful. Now if I run the sync call command, see, it got. See, it is yet to build the topology. Means I told KCC will build a topology, means which server to talk to which server to read the information, but it was not set. When I run the previously, when I run sync call command, it says, see here, incomplete, topology is incomplete. When I run repadmin /kcc, I have invoked, I have triggered KCC to check the communication or the channel or the topology creation, and it says consistency check is on the local host is completed. Then if I run the command, it says successfully completed, following the replication completed successfully, and sync call is finished, sync call terminated with no errors. That means the replication is now completed. Okay, see, and you see Arvind has come here. So these are all the some basic replication related commands. Okay, fine. Then now let us quickly show, let me show you quickly the FSMO roles. To check the FSMO roles, there is a command called net dom query FSMO. Net dom query FSMO. This is a command. What it will do, it will list out all the available FSMO roles. This is a command, but you can even see from the graphics. See here, I told you, right, there will be 5 FSMO roles. When you install the Active Directory, it will be there in single domain controller. 2 are domain forest wide role, 3 are domain wide roles. The schema master, domain naming master are the forest wide role. PDC, RAD manager, infrastructure master are the domain wide role. What Microsoft will recommend you is, Microsoft will always recommend you to not to keep all the roles in a single server because it's a single point of failure. But because you cannot simply restore the Active Directory domain controller like you do for the other servers, we need to have a third party tools to do the Active Directory replication, and those tools are very costly. Okay, what we will do, we will move couple of roles from one domain controller to another domain controller. How to move? There is an option. See, when you go to this Active Directory, I'll go to ADC01. Here also I'll check. Wait, see, in the ADC01 also I'm checking the FSMO roles. That is net dom query FSMO. It also shows the same thing. The roles are there in the DC01. See, you can see the FSMO roles here. It is there in the DC01 only. Now, what we have to do, you have to go to the server to which you need to move the role. So now everything is DC01. You need to go to the ADC01 because I need to move roles from ADC DC to ADC. Or you can even go to the DC01 only and go to your Active Directory users and computers here. Right click on the Microsoft.com and you see here Operations Master. These Operations Masters are nothing but your FSMO roles. And you see here you have 3 roles which are domain wide role here. RAD is there, PDC is there, infrastructure master is there. Correct, na? And if you see here, the operation master is currently in the DC01. To transfer the operation master role to the following computer, click on change. But if I click on change, it won't happen because here the operation master source is also same, destination is also same. So that time what you can do, you have to change the domain controller. Right click on the Microsoft.com. There is an option called change domain controller. Either you can go to ADC01 and move from here. Now if you go to ADC01, you don't see that option. Go to operation master. See, it is correct. Here it is DC, here it is ADC. If you click on change, it happens. So let me do RAD move here only. Let me see. See, now it got moved. Operation master role was moved, transferred successfully, and see here it is ADC now. It is ADC now. But if I go to DC01 here, let me refresh. If I go to the FSMO roles again, it says RAD master is in ADC now. Earlier it was in DC and it is already moved to DC01. If you see the PDC, it is in DC, infrastructure DC. Now I cannot move this PDC and infrastructure because I have connected to the same server. So what I would have to change the domain controller. Right click on the Microsoft.com, click on change domain controller, select to which domain controller you need to move. My new domain controller is ADC01, I need to move it here. So selected ADC01, selected. Now if you go to the Microsoft.com and operations master, you don't see that option. See PDC, it is in DC01, it is asking you to move to ADC01. Click on change, done. Similar infrastructure master, go to infrastructure master, click on change, yes, and done. Now you go to the domain command prompt and run the command called netdom query FSMO. You see the 3 domain wide roles are moved to the new domain controller, which is your ADC01. I'm checking in both the domain controller. See, schema master, domain naming master still in forest. I mean the DC01. ADC has got PDC RAD infrastructure master, the domain wide roles are moved to ADC, forest wide roles are moved to, are still there in the DC. Okay. Now, how to move the other two roles as well? Because you are only seeing 3 roles, but we have 5 roles. For that, you need to go to Tools, Active Directory, Domains and Trust, and if you right click on this Active Directory Domains and Trust, you see Operation Master. One more here, and if you go here, you see only one role, that is called as Domain Naming Master role. Correct, na? It is there in the DC. You can move it to ADC. Click on Change. Done. That's all. Now you have moved 4 FSMO roles. Check here. Again go here. Check from here. Okay. You have moved the 4. Now you see still going on. This is very important to know. Okay. You see here all the 4 except schema master, rest everything is in ADC 01. Similarly, if you see here except schema master, all the other roles are there in the ADC 01. So now you still have a question. Sir, there should be 5 roles, but I have seen only 4 roles. Correct, na? Another one you cannot see. Schema master is, I told you, it is one of the important one because to update the schema. If you update the schema irrelevantly, the entire domain controller will go for toss. You will not be able to do any operations. Okay. That's why they will not straight away give that option. You have to find it a way. Okay. There is an option. If you type MMC here, MMC, this console will open. This is called as Microsoft Management Console. Here, if you go to Action or File, Add, Remove, Snap in, all the Active Directory related options will come here. See, you see, domain center, sites and services, users and computers are there. Okay, but ADS edit is also there, but you are not able to see the schema, Active Directory schema manager. So what you have to do, in order to make the schema visible here, you need to run a command called any domain controller you can do. Whatever domain controller you are doing, in that domain controller you can do. There is a command called reg registry svr reg svr32 space schema sschm mgmt.dll. This is a command called reg svr32 space schema sschm schema management.dll. Once you run this command, it gets registered. See, the DLL register server in schema management.dll got succeeded. If you click on OK, and now if you run the MMC in the run MMC Microsoft Management Console, if you go to File, Add, Remove, Snap in, now you see the schema option here. See, Active Directory schema is there. Add this schema here, apply OK, and you see the schema got opened in the MMC. Now double click on the schema, Active Directory schema, and you see Operations Master. Now it is there in the DC. It cannot move to the DC. What you can do, you can change the domain controller. Right click on the schema, change the domain controller, select ADC01 because you need to move to ADC01. Now right click, go to Operations Master and click on change. Yes, successfully transferred Operation Master, and I'm okay. Now if you run the command, it says all the FSMO roles are moved to another ADC additional domain controller. Okay, run the command in the ADC as well. So this is how you do the operations. See, the schema and FSMO roles can be moved in another graphical use as well. Okay, graphically also you can move. Okay, there is an option called NTDS util. You need to go there, and from there you can move. NTDS util. NTDS util. If you put help, it will give you what all to be done. Okay, and if you just scroll down, NTDS util activate instances, local type roles command. See, here is a command called roles. Click on roles, FSMO instances. Now type help. It will tell you what can be done, and here you see transfer infrastructure master. If you want to transfer infrastructure master, run this command or connect to DC01 or 1 second. Connections is there, connections, yep. Sir help, connect to server. Okay, connect to server. DC-01 by okay, maybe quit I need to do. Now transfer FSMO. Okay, FSMO connections, help, and second guys, NTDSUTIL, and here help, FSM roles, help, connections, DC-01 I guess. Here it is not happening. Why help? Think missing something. Okay, clear thread, help, wait, connect to server, comma DNS name, connect to server. Okay, I'll just check. I'll show you this tomorrow. Okay, I don't know why it is not happening. So now this is how you move the FSMO roles back to the another server. So what I will do, because I don't have much configurations, what I'll do, I'll move all the roles back to the DC01. Okay, to make my only one server to run. So I'll do one thing, just go and change the domain controller, connect to DC01 and move all the operations master back. CPDC I'm moving, already I'm moving. Okay, PDC I'm moving, done. Infrastructure master I'm moving, done. And then I'll go to Active Directory sites and services, domains and trust. So right click here, go to operations master, move the, sorry, I need to change the domain controller to change Active Directory domain controller to DC01. Okay, again go to Microsoft, operations master, change, yep, closed, done. Now I'll go to MMC, go to file, go to add remove snap in, schema is there, add it, apply it, right click on the schema, change the domain controller to DC01. Okay, and then move the schema master as well. Schema master, operations master, go here, change it to DC01. All the roles are now transferred. Now if you click and see the FSMO roles. All the roles are there in the DC01. See here DC01, 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 all the operations masters are there in DC01. But if you add a child domain, now when you check the domain, say for example, you think this is DC01 is Microsoft.com, ADC01 is your India.Microsoft.com. If you check the FSMO roles in DC01, it will show all DC01. But if you go to India.Microsoft.com, there if you check the FSMO roles, it will tell 2 roles are from the far east, from the Microsoft.com at DC01. 3 roles are there from like ADC01.India.Microsoft.com, like that it will show. Okay, these 3 roles will be there in the new domain, and these roles will be coming from the forest level only. If you check the FSMO roles at the multi-forest level domains. Okay. So that's about the FSMO roles and additional domain controller and moving the FSMO and about the replications. Any questions, guys? Did I left anything here? No, sites and service, domains and trust. See here, this is the domains and trust. I was talking about the trust now yesterday. All the trust can be created here only. Okay, go to here, domain controller, and see new forest, forest functional level, everything can be changed here. Okay. If you come here, trust actually. Okay, here, say for example, now you are in Microsoft.com. You have one more domain called Instagram.com. You just have to come here, new trust. Click on this. What domain? Say for example, yours is Instagram.com or Microsoft.com. Next, no, it is new trust with what? This is Instagram.com. So before you create all these things, you should make sure all the ports are opened. Then it will ask the username and password. You need to enter the username and password of Instagram.com. See, now it doesn't have the connection. It won't establish because see, it is now asking real-time trust, or you want what kind of trust, domain trust, all those things. Okay, so put this and finish. Okay, properties, if you go, trust, if you go, it will take some time, and after that it will reflect here. Okay, so domains accessed by this domain outgoing trust. Okay, domains trust is incoming trust. So if you see, you should always create the incoming connections. If you want to establish people to access Microsoft.com from the Instagram.com, you have to tell your computer, please allow people from Instagram.com. So that's an incoming connection. So you have to create the incoming connection here. But if you go and look at the Instagram.com, there is an outgoing trust created for Microsoft.com because you created here incoming. So that is outgoing for the Instagram.com. Okay, that is why you don't see the trust creation for the outgoing traffic here. Only the incoming traffic you have. So it will take some time. It will reflect. Tomorrow we'll check this. Okay. So I think nothing is left out. Yeah.
Sir, like if we assume like there are 4 additional domain controllers, so is it mandatory to move like to every additional domain controller or what? Sir?
No, see, Microsoft will tell you not to keep it in single server.
Okay.
You can move one role in one server, or maybe 2 in 1, 3 in 1, or maybe 2 in 1, 2 in 1, 1 in 1, like that. It is left to your wish, but you should not keep it in single server. That's all.
No, sir. I am asking about roles only. Is it mandatory to move roles to each? Like I didn't get that actually.
That's so what I am telling. Microsoft will recommend not to keep all the roles in a single server. You can place the way you want it.
Okay, sir.
The
Okay, sir.
mandate is not to keep it in single server. You can keep one role in 5 servers, no problem. Or you can keep 2 in 1, 3 in 1, no problem. Whatever your
Okay,
wish, you can place like that.
so
But
we can
not
place
keeping
one more.
single server. That's all.
Okay, sir. We can keep a single role in each additional domain
Yeah, you
controllers
can
also.
keep it in
Okay.
one role in each additional domain controller. Because see,
Okay.
say for example, you have here 2 domain controller. Okay, for due to some reasons, if this DC01 get corrupted, I don't have any option to recover the server. But if
Okay.
you have moved the role from DC01 to ADC01, if
Yes.
DC01 get corrupted and if that has got 2 rules, roles PDC and RID pool manager is there, okay, I can I can enable the roles of PDC and RID in the ADC01 only, because there is
Okay.
an option called role seizure. When the
Okay.
say for example the DC01 is there, that has got schema master role,
Okay.
okay, so due to some reason the the DC01 get corrupted. So what you can go to ADC here. You can seize the role. Go to NTDS util. 1 second. Means you can forcefully tell your ADC to act as a PDC schema master as well. Go to here command prompt. Go to NTDS util. Okay. Here help. Here you have roles. Sorry, role. Here, if you look at help, you see an option called seize. If you run this command
Okay.
seize schema master, this ADC will become an schema master as well. It will think that domain DC01 will never come back because it got corrupted. When you run the command like seize schema master, this ADC will start working as schema master role as well. So now all the 5 roles are there in the ADC, like that.
Okay.
When do we
Okay.
need, when do we use schema? Seize when the DC
Get corrupted.
when the faulty domain controller will never come back. See,
Okay.
normally vehicle seize happens when they will
Yes, sir.
when they will give you warning, you will not pay the loan, EMI and all. Last final stage only they will seize, thinking that
Yes,
you
sir.
will never pay the loan. The same option, if the computer will think that, or you know that the faulty domain controller will never come back. You cannot recover that at all. That time you will go to the additional domain controller and seize the role, whatever is was there in the DC01 or the faulty one. Correct? Na? That is called as role seizure. Seizing. You can tell in the interview, I know how to seize the role, I know how to move the FSMO roles. All those things we need to speak. Okay.
Okay.
So with that, I think we are done with today. Any questions? Let me stop the recording before that.